Just recently, Scope Ratings has opened an office in Milan. There is a demand for an European rating agency. Why have you landed in Milan?
Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. The Scope Ratings in its current format started its business in 2012. And the reason for us setting up this rating business was really the public demand at the political but also at the capital markets level to establish a European rating agency, because not only the global but also the European capital markets, they are richly dominated by the three incumbent rating agencies. There have been efforts to set up European rating agencies in the past, but all have been more or less unsuccessful. And we thought about what is the reason for that. And the reason for that was that nobody really offered an alternative to what S&P, Moody's and Fitch do, which is a cross-asset class coverage all over Europe. And we decided to set up the business in that way. Since 2012, Scope Ratings has established rating business for corporates, for structured finance, for covered bonds, for banks, for project finance and for public finance. And we have done that in a way that we spread from our German-based head office, with offices now in London, in Frankfurt, in Berlin, in Oslo and most recently in Milan. Now, the reason for that was that we saw quite a bit of business potential in Italy. I mean, Italy is the fourth biggest economy in Europe, and starting from our base, we have gradually expanded our franchise into Europe. Scope, in fact, is the first non-US rating agency which has solicited mandates from European large caps and from large European banks. So we rate organizations like Crédit Foncier, the biggest covered bond issuer in the world, on a solicited basis. We rate UBS in Switzerland on a solicited basis. We rate KfW, the German public sector bank, on a solicited basis. We have rated transactions on the structured finance side in the UK for Barclays, in Italy for Santander, in Germany for Volkswagen, all on a solicited basis. And it was a logical next step for us now to move into the Milan or into the Italian market with the opening of a Milan office. Now you may want to ask, why is this just Italy, which is your next step? And it comes actually quite naturally for us, because also developments we have seen in Europe, in the European banking market, but also in the general capital market development in Europe and in Italy in particular, there is quite some demand for capital market financing in Italy. There's quite some demand for capital market financing in Italy on the bank level in order to sort of consolidate and re-establish bank capital market funding. But there's also demand on the securitization level. And the securitization level, that's mainly driven by topics like, very hot in Italy these days, NPL securitization, but also securitization of consumer loans. And we also see now some glimpse of hope of the RMBS market in Italy coming back. And this was why we decided to set up an office also in Milan. Scope, since its inception in 2012, has been working already with Italian analysts. We have Italian analysts on the corporate side, we have Italian analysts on the banking side, and now we made the conscious decision also to have people on the ground. And we have a country representative, Roberto Di Santis, which has been preparing the ground for us since September 2015. And now, with the physical office, we are also going to have analysts on the ground. And in fact, just today I received notice that a corporate analyst will join us as of 1st of August, and he will be based in Milan.
From the point of view of your agency, what do you expect from Europe and Italy?
I mean, what we expect from Europe and Italy is in particular a deepening of the European capital market and a strengthening of the European capital market, driven also by the support or by the energy which is sort of injected into the European capital market by means of the European Capital Market Union. Yeah. And in that context, we see the demand for a European rating agency. What we have spoken to investors in Europe, but we have also spoken to investors in the Middle East and in the US, and there is a demand for an inside-out perspective. That's to say, for the perspective of a European organization which assesses European debt issuers with a European focus, who knows the various currents in the European capital markets, but also on a political level. And this is much appreciated. So we think that the European capital market is going to consolidate. Italy will play a significant role in that development, of course, also given the size of Italy and the importance of Italy for the European movement. By the way, we see it vary, the developments we have seen on the political level over the last months with a strengthening of the pro-Euro position in the Netherlands, but also strengthening or a sort of re-emphasizing the European position in France. We see this as a positive momentum for Europe and for European capital markets, and we want to contribute to the further consolidation and development of these capital markets with our position.